Okay, here are the double secret scales for G, C, and D songs. Okay, so these are closed scales, so in a way you can move these things. So not relying on any open notes. The G scale, start off G scale is going to start here on the 5th fret on the D. And you're going to go up to 2 frets to the 7th fret, 2nd finger, then 2 more frets up, 3rd finger, and that's the 9th fret. And then the next string up, starting with the 5th fret, go 2 half steps up to the 7th fret, and then get your pinky involved, go all the way up to that 10th fret. The cool thing about starting here is that there's a couple of like kind of roll-up notes, hammer up notes that work, where some of those hammer notes down in the open position just don't sound good. You sort of lose, the open note is the open note on the hammer is the weak note, and then the placed note is the solid one, and that isn't really what sounds good in those keys. So if you play in these upper registers, they tend to sound a little bit better. And you can get the blue notes in there a little bit better. The blue notes in this one, so that's going to be starting with that 1st finger on the D string. You're going to go 7, 8, 9. And then coming down, you're going to go to that top of that scale, which is the 10th fret on the A string. And that blue note coming down is the 3rd fret up from the bass, or in this case, that is the 8th fret. Ten, 8, 7, 5, 7, and then do a kind of a rolly up. 8, 8, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9, 5. You can finger it or you can slide it. Okay. The next scale in that same register is to get the C. Okay. So there's no nice way to go up 5 half steps. So you have to kind of start off with this pinky. And to be honest, the C scale in this pentatonic is the weakest. Let's. Okay. So start with your pinky on the 10th fret of the D. And then go to the next string up, the A, 5th fret. The solid pentatonic is going to be 2 half steps up on the 7th. And then you're going to go all the way up to the 10th fret with your pinky. Go up to the 5th fret on the E string. And then pull in your 3rd finger 3 frets up on the 8th fret. Okay, that's a bit of an exercise. Now the blue notes on that are going to be, start with your C, or pinky, go to the next 3 chromatic notes. Okay. Now, from a mandolin violin perspective, don't play it like a guitar. Take your 2nd finger when you get to that, and then roll up, because your 2nd finger is supposed to, it's doing zone defense. It's gotta land a couple of these. If you go, and your 3rd finger is on this fret, to get to that 10th fret, is going to be a stretch that is not going to be very comfortable. So now the blue note coming down is going to be the 6 and the 5 on that E string. Okay, so that's the C. The D scale is basically just the G scale, just moved up 1 fret down away from your nose, because that gets you to the 5 or 7/2 steps up. Starting with the first finger on the 5th fret of the A string. Okay. The cool thing about these scales is that the notes below the string. So I'll give you an example for if you're playing in the key of G. So the 2 notes below that scale, which are the 7th fret and the 9th fret, you have like a kind of a built-in pickup. You know, it kind of sounds like She Isn't Worth It. So it has a nice little pickup to it. And the same thing with the D. If that's where the D is starting, you have a nice little pickup with the 2 notes below. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so that's basically it.